What's up? I'm Andrew Sather from einvestingforbeginners.com. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to find and pick good dividend paying stocks. What I'm going to do is to give you a look over my shoulder to see everything that I see on my computer screen so that you can follow along and learn everything you need to know.
Here we are at my computer. Let's just get right to it. So, what we want to do to try to find a great dividend company, the first step you want to go is to this website called finviz.com. This is a screener, and it's basically going to let us sift through all the thousands of stocks that are in the exchange in order to find only the best ones that we're looking for. So I'm going to click here in this tab that says screener. And I want to set a couple presets. We want to find a good dividend payer, but the thing about dividends is sometimes they can be taxed. So for simplicity's sake, I want to keep country in the US, and I want to keep my investments to stocks that are relatively bigger and thus safer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the stocks that are in the S&P 500. As you can see, that narrowed it down to, there's about a list of 6,000 down to maybe 483 here. So now just a couple of parameters. Let's go to fundamental tab. I'm sorry, let's go back to descriptive. I forgot to add the dividends. So definitely we want somebody who's paying a dividend. And that's going to lower it down to 408. Now we'll go over here to the fundamental tab. And I've got a few general rules. So let's keep our PE under 25. This keeps us only invested in companies that are very profitable. And PB less than 2. This makes sure that we're not paying an extreme valuation for a company's assets. And now we've got the list down to about 90. And I want to get companies that have a debt of equity under 1, because anything leveraged more than that could be a risk. Now, we're down to about 69 companies. It's up to you how far you want to take the screen. I've been investing for quite a while, almost 2 years. So I kind of know the metrics that I like to go with. And it's completely up to you which metrics you want to use. You ask any investor and they all have different methodologies. And it's really up to the individual. So a few more parameters here. I'm just making sure I've got price to cash. Let's keep the current ratio here. I got about 14 companies here, and now that we have this list, we can kind of go through, and now you can do more of an individual analysis on the various companies. So I actually see a company here that's already in my model portfolio, which is NOV. They seem to have a bright future, and I like to see where they might go. But let's just look at the various dividend yields here. So if we take a look at the financial tab, you can see there's some of these don't really pay much of a dividend, while others are much higher of a dividend. And we can kind of see here which companies might be a little bit more risky than others. So based off of this, I kind of want a couple of stocks hit my eye, and really when you get down to a list this low, you can do pretty well for yourself as far as picking any stock on this list, because if you understand what these valuations mean and what the metrics mean, then you'll know that you're already going to have a great investment. For me, I want to look at this company here, Staples, just because it catches my eye with a high yield over 4. And we see an obvious downtrend, so we want to make sure there's no value traps. But I'm also interested in seeing what is the dividend history? So another website we can use. So this website here will give us, they're very focused on dividends. So they'll give us kind of a different viewpoint than the FinViz does. And so we get some key pieces of information from this website, such as how many years have they been paying the dividend. You see some like a low number of years. We might see that as a little bit troubling, because if a company's been around for a long time but they haven't been paying a dividend for a long time, then that might show that their balance sheet and their cash flows aren't as great as we might think. And so another great thing to use on this website, which is dividend.com, is if you go to more dividend history, also show us a chart here of what kind of dividend increases did they do. So generally you want to see a graph that's going from bottom left to upper right, and you just want to see steady growth. So for a company like this, they don't have, obviously we see a drop off in 2008, but they did continue to pay a dividend even through that bad time, and they've been increasing it ever since. So ever since the drop, we saw the dividend. Looks like maybe management was too aggressive back then, but now they're kind of more conservative and able to hit these dividend points, which is allowing them to continue to increase it. One last thing you want to do when you're looking at a dividend company is be sure you check out this tab right here. It says dividend payout. If it's anything over 100%, that is not sustainable, because basically this payout percentage tells you how much of a company's earnings they are paying out. And if it's anything higher than 100, then they're paying out more than they actually get in. So that's not a good place for a company to be at. Again, there's more analysis that is done other than this. This is just really how you can find great dividend stocks and pick them yourself. But the individual picking, like I said, is all up to the investor and what kind of philosophy you have. So you can really use this methodology for any time you pick a stock. And this is the exact thing that I do before I pick a stock. And for the people that are more interested in like advanced techniques and better ways, because as we see in this graph, the graph is trending downwards and could be a value trap. We don't want to catch a falling knife. I have other ways of making sure that this company is not a value trap, and if you're interested in that, be sure to be a premium member where you'll get access to my value trap numbers and indicators and a spreadsheet that lets you enter all of that in there. If you're not a subscriber to my email list, I recommend you do that, because as of now, that information is free to my subscribers, but it could be behind a paywall in the future. But to go to that place, you would want to go to stockmarketpdf.com. Enter your email, you'll automatically be subscribed to my newsletter, and you'll get a free ebook from doing that as well. Well, I hope this helps you to find and pick the best dividend stocks, and I hope you'll stay tuned because I've got much more to come.